the first would be that if it's a one and done, like, oh yeah, we did that years ago and now we've never touched it again. As I just mentioned before, regulatory changes happen, best practices shift, the lawsuit landscape is changing as well. So it's important to have not just that guide, but the educator and the one who's providing ongoing training. Additionally, this is going to be somebody who's providing specific expertise. So having that in-depth knowledge of ERISA, of the regulations, the best practices, being able to translate those complex requirements into understandable terms that are relatable, that are specific to your plan and the types of things that you need to be considering. Because obviously, if we have this training, that's great, but if it's not tailored to your particular committee or your custom program that you have there for your retirement plan, that's not going to address your concerns about your plan and meet those unique challenges. So we don't want just a generic PowerPoint. In other words, we want something that's actually actionable to your plan. And then that ongoing support and guidance as time goes on and as things change. So that would be table stakes for what your advisor ought to be doing and what kind of training they ought to be providing. And one way that you know that they're doing this well is if they have a proactive and consistent schedule or a time where these items are addressed. So having this at least on an annual basis, maybe more frequently, or maybe when you get new members or there's significant regulatory changes, if you have a top-notch advisor, then they're not going to wait for you to ask for training on the subject. They're going to be working on that as soon as there's something new or different. And they're also going to be staying ahead of it. A really good advisor will make this interactive and engaging. They may also make it delivered in a very easy way for you to digest. It could be a series of videos. It could be just check-ins. It could be delivered in a number of different ways. So think about that from the interactive and engaging type of way. Using clear and understandable language, you should be able to understand what they're talking about. There shouldn't be excessive legalese. There shouldn't be a ton of acronyms. You need to have an advisor that can make these complex topics accessible. And that is one of the true hallmarks of a very good retirement plan advisor. Documenting the training. You need to have notes that say what you covered. This needs to be part of your records, part of your documents that are easily filed. So if they haven't done that for you in the past and logged that you've had these sorts of discussions, that's a huge red flag, in my opinion. Any other like new regulations and trends, that sort of thing that they're going to proactively bring you up to speed on those. That includes ERISA or DOL guidance or industry best practices, et cetera. So they should be covering that type of content. And then last would be like, what happens afterward? So they're going to probably have resources or tools or a quick way to ask follow-up questions after that type of training is over and be building on it as time goes on.